Hi, this is Meenal Kelker, and I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to share with you probably what's the top frustration that I have around running my business. And that frustration has to do with hiring people for their expertise to support me in getting stuff I need to get done, hiring them for their expertise, and then they just completely miss the deadlines. Or they give me something that they promised it was going to be one thing and it turns out it's something completely different. I think one of the reasons it really frustrates me is because it's really hard for me to delegate. I'm so used to doing everything myself and wanting things to be a certain way, and I really take pride in doing things a certain way. And so to take that step to ask for help is hard for me. I think the other thing too is that when the person doesn't follow through, I really start to question my judgment, question the instinct. I do go through a whole process of asking my colleagues, who would you recommend, who do you suggest that I use, then talking to that person and looking at what they can do and calling their references and all of that. And so I go through a pretty extensive process before I even hire them, and then to have them flake out on me, what comes up for me is, did I make a mistake? Was there one other question that I should have asked that I didn't? So what do I do in this situation? It's really hard for me to tell people when I'm disappointed in them. I give so much of myself that I give not even so much of myself, I give 110% to everyone who comes to me. And so I think I have an expectation that other people operate the same way. And so what I struggle with the most when these types of things happens is disappointment. Disappointment in them, as well as, like I said, disappointment in myself as to whether I can trust myself or not. So what is my solution to all of this? It's to be really present. In the past, these things would happen and I would just avoid the situation, like just forget, pretend it never happened. And that didn't really help because I would end up getting more and more and more and more annoyed with the person until it would kind of blow up in some other context. And so what I do now is I just get really present to what frustration feels like to me. Actually has a physical component to it. And for me, it shows up as a tightness in my chest. It shows up as just like being kind of snappy towards the people that I love, like my husband. And that's usually my telltale sign that I'm really frustrated about something, and it gives me the chance to step back and say, well, what's really going on? And so when I identify the source of that frustration, then it gives me the chance to say, okay, what do I want to do about this now? Because am I willing to put up with this? Because if I don't say anything, then that person doesn't really know that they've done something wrong. Or do I actually do something? And more I've been actually standing up for myself, which is a hard thing for me to do, and just expressing to that person that, hey, this is what happened. I was really disappointed because I felt like you should have told me ahead of time. And let's have a conversation about it. My policy now is that I give the person 4 chances. First time, I'll assume that, okay, maybe I didn't take the time to even explain it. Maybe it was never even addressed. So, okay, now we're talking about it. Second time is, okay, well, maybe I really wasn't quite clear. Third time, we have the conversation. Now there are consequences because I really don't know whether I can rely on this person or not. And so I need to set up plan B. And I tell the person that. And I tell them this is what I'm willing to continue working on or having you work on for me. But this is the stuff I'm going to take away from you. And you're now basically on a trial period. And if it happens again and we need to have the conversation, then our relationship is done. That to me feels like it's honoring who I am because I really do value relationships, and it's respecting that maybe there are things going on with that other person that are kind of out of their control. We're all human beings after all. So it's my kind of 4 strikes you're out rule, and it seems to be working really well for me. And I welcome you to share what your rule is, or what do you do when people don't follow through for you.